had not planned to film this today. I'm in no way ready, but I came home and there were 3 butterflies that had emerged from their chrysalis overnight, and I thought, well, now's as good a time as any to check in and talk with you about how to do a little butterfly gardening. Hi, I'm Patty, and I go by Patty Mac Makes everywhere online. Welcome to my handmade lifestyle. On this channel, we are all about living an analog life in a digital world. And what you're going to find here is a whole lot of makes, bakes, and plants. And I include the butterflies into the plant part of this. If you are a returning viewer, as always, hello and welcome. It's so nice to see you again. And if you're new to the channel, make sure that you subscribe before you click away today. But don't click away until you watch the whole video, because it's so interesting. And this is such a fun activity that you can do with your children or grandchildren. So, okay, let's get into the video. Butterfly gardening is basically having a pollinator-friendly environment where you can help the native butterflies where you are to survive and thrive, because it's really hard on wildlife now. They've lost a lot of their natural habitat, and so it's kind of important for us to help them along where we can. The butterflies that you saw come out of the enclosure today, they're called Black Swallowtail Butterflies. They're beautiful, and they lay their eggs on parsley and fennel and dill, I think, but I always do the curly parsley. They love curly parsley. Butterflies need 2 kinds of plants, but they need what you call a host plant, and the host plant is where they lay the eggs. So what happens is they lay their eggs. When the caterpillars emerge, they have a ready food source, and a caterpillar can't just eat any old thing. They only eat certain stuff. So you can't just put out whatever and get a ton of butterflies. It doesn't work that way. You have to find out what butterflies are in your area, and then you need to, once you determine the butterfly, then you want to look up their host plant so that you know what to put out for them to lay their eggs. And then you want to look up what they like to nectar on. And nectaring means feeding. And basically, they'll go to just about any flowering plant. So I put out stuff like marigolds and zinnias, lantanas, sunflowers, all kinds of stuff. And they enjoy all of that. So planting a pollinator-friendly garden is super beneficial for providing a food source for your wildlife. You noticed I had that little enclosure. Why do I have that? It's because, yes, it's better if you can just let them do their thing in nature, but what happens is when the caterpillars get to that nice big juicy state, they always get eaten. So either a little salamander will get them, or the birds get them. I guess frogs can get them. I don't know. All I know is they get to that stage and then they just disappear. So when they get to the juicy state, I like to put them into that enclosure. And they still have their food, and they have a safe place where they can go into their chrysalis form and have their metamorphosis. And also, they are vulnerable when they first come out of the chrysalis. Their wings are kind of wet, they're disoriented, they're kind of weak. So they need a safe place where they can just kind of, get their bearings in their new butterfly body, and their wings have a chance to dry out. Very sad. You have sometimes a butterfly that doesn't make it and their wings are all crumpled up. And there's nothing you can do. So they're going to be a food source for somebody at that point, which is kind of sad, but it is the cycle of life. But most of the time they come out super strong and healthy, like what you witnessed in that release. If you look at my past butterfly farming videos, like I was doing all kinds of stuff. And what I do now is I basically buy out the store on parsley in the little nursery pots. And what I do is I put out a whole bunch of live parsley all around, and the butterflies will lay the eggs on the live parsley. I'll monitor what's going on. When I start getting some caterpillars, I'll move them into the enclosure, and then they can still feed on live plants, which is way better. I used to buy the cut parsley and put it in water, and that was not as good. This live plant thing is the best way to go. So, and then it keeps me from having to handle them. You don't want to handle them if you can help it. So I just move the entire plant into the enclosure, and voila, they do really well. So also, when they're in the chrysalis, they're vulnerable in that state also. They'll get eaten then. So it's super hard to be a butterfly, I'm just gonna say, because everybody wants to eat the caterpillar and eat the chrysalis. So to finally make it to that butterfly state, it's not an easy process. This year I did plant quite a bit of parsley, and it was starting to come in. It was looking great, and then the bunny rabbits showed up, and the bunny rabbits have just eaten everything. And it's, when you grow a garden for wildlife, you're going to get results, and I have learned that you're going to get some people are going to move in that you didn't expect. We'll just say that, and then you have to figure out how to deal with that. So I'm learning to deal with the bunny rabbits. Let me show you just what's going on here. This zippered enclosure, I just got it on Amazon. I think it was just called a butterfly house. I could link to it below. It's like $10. It was not expensive, and you know, it allows for natural airflow and sunlight, and I literally stick it in the garden so it's as natural an environment as possible. And this has been such a good setup. Oh my goodness, it has been good this year. I even had butterfly chrysalis that did not hatch at the end of the season last year, and I went ahead and just left them inside the enclosure, and lo and behold, I had 15 butterflies that emerged and hatched this spring. That was so exciting. So don't, just give up if all of your chrysalis don't hatch. They'll somehow they survive it through the winter, and you'll get them in the spring. Yeah, the way this thing works is it has on one side that zippered opening, and that's how you can get in and out to take care of the insects. And what I am doing now, and honestly, I think it's kind of genius. So I have like a 12-inch terracotta tray, and this is just like a tray like you put your plants in. So I put that in the bottom, and it weights this down because this little enclosure is very lightweight and it will blow all over the place. So you put this in the bottom, and then you put in your live plants, and they do like really well. And I've got, let's see, so I've got some different stages of caterpillars going on in here. They're all black swallowtails because that's what lays on the host plant parsley. There's a little bitty guy in here. So I'm going to go ahead and put this super healthy plant with just the little bitty guy over here. We'll just walk over. So this is like my butterfly farming zone. I don't know what to call it. So here you can see, where is he? Okay, there he is. So see that guy? He's like super active. So he's going to town. These caterpillars are eating machines. I'm going to tell you something. They will defoliate a plant in nothing flat. So, but you know what? He's really big. Let me pull this out. He's super big. So he is about ready to go into his chrysalis. Let's bring him over here. Isn't he cool? So you can see how big he is. I mean, he's right, almost as big as my finger. So this guy, another day, maybe two, he's going to be ready to go in. So I'm going to go ahead and put him into the enclosure, and he will have a safe place to go into his chrysalis. So let's just put him in. There he goes. And he's all safe and sound. I disturbed him a little bit moving him, but he's okay. He'll be fine. Oh, there's another one. Isn't there? Let's see, I thought I saw one in the camera. Maybe not. So you can see, let me show you this on the sides. So that's a shell of a chrysalis. So this one hatched. Take it down. It's really amazing. There's some kind of weird goo in there. Let's see. Oh, that one hatched. It's really wild. Okay, so if we look over in that corner, there's two, and that papery one is, three actually, right there together. And then you come around, and there's one. And see how that one is getting kind of black, and those are still really green. I hope that shows up in this video. When they start getting black like that, it means that it's getting close to hatching. And once they go into this chrysalis, it's like they'll have their metamorphosis within 2 weeks. So it's pretty fast. And I don't put anything else in there. They just do their thing on their own. And oh, there's one down there. So they attach all over the place. You never know where they're going to be. So he's down low. Okay, well that's the video on how I do the butterfly gardening this year. I hope it was helpful. I did not expect to film it today, but it's like the weather is nice. There were 3 butterflies and a moth when I came home, so it's like, all right, I guess I'm doing it now, and I did. If you have questions, ask below. I'll link to last year's video as well, but this new setup with the terracotta tray and the live plants, and then changing plants out once they're defoliated to a safe place where they can regenerate. I mean, that's really working good. I've had super success, and the insects that are coming out are so strong and so healthy. So that's really cool. I guess that's all I've got for you for right now. This is like my big summertime hobby. This, and I also do bluebird boxes. I love bluebirds. And I've got bluebirds who are close to fledging. So maybe I'll talk about that in a different video. But okay, that's like, I think that's it for butterfly gardening. Okay, that's the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy my butterfly pictures and things that I've been inserting along the way. And yeah, stick around, more to come, and I'll see you in the next video.